Over the past 50 years, according to the UN, dangerous natural phenomena have become more frequent. Scientists warn that if no action is taken, temperatures could rise by up to 3 degrees Celsius by the end of the century. This will lead to changes in the ecosystems of the world. Let's see what's happening to our planet right now. A dam burst in Syria, causing widespread flooding. Water gushed into dozens of settlements, completely flooding them. People were in danger, and they urgently had to be evacuated. The first floors of the buildings were flooded. If the water reaches the ruined buildings that collapsed due to the earthquake that occurred in neighboring Turkey on February 6, then the people remaining under the rubble will not have a chance to survive. Now rescuers are working in the country. They are taking people to temporary camps and tent camps. On the night of Sunday, the 12th of February to Monday, the 13th of February, a meteorite was observed in France. An intense moon-rivaling flare lit up the skies of northern France, England, and the Benelux. At 2 hours 59 minutes and 21 seconds Coordinated Universal Time, a small asteroid entered Earth's atmosphere over the English Channel, a few kilometers off the coast of Normandy. A storm has begun in the southeast of Sicily. According to the notification of the Italian Meteorological Services, 300 millimeters of precipitation fell during the day. Strong winds knocked down trees and damaged power lines. Local authorities were forced to close 62 schools. In the Syracuse area, rescuers managed to save 13 people, but reports of people at the epicenter of the flood or flooded homes and farms continue to come in. Search and rescue work continues. New Zealand declares a state of emergency over Cyclone Gabriel. A heavy downpour began in the country, which was accompanied by strong winds. On the 13th of February, people had to be evacuated from the coastal areas. Approximately 500 houses were flooded. 46,000 homes were left without power as a result of the flood. Electricians could not start work for a long time because of the storm. Trees fell on power lines and blocked roads. Due to abnormal frosts in the Crimea, the Watching-Su waterfall froze. This waterfall is located on the southern slope of the Ipatri Mountain, 6 kilometers from Yalta. Its height is 98 meters, and it is located at an altitude of 390 meters above sea level. The Crimean Peninsula is one of the warmest regions in Ukraine, but this winter the temperature dropped to 16 degrees below zero, which has never happened before. Lightning hit the statue of Christ the Savior in Rio de Janeiro, Brazil. Someone managed to photograph this moment. The photo quickly went viral on social media. This statue, 38 meters high, is one of the wonders of the world and the hallmark of the city. Many took this incident as a bad sign, but in fact it was not the first time lightning hit the statue, but this moment was captured in the photo for the first time. Heavy rains caused widespread flooding in Haiti. The rivers overflowed their banks and flooded thousands of houses. 2,500 houses had to be evacuated from the disaster zone. In the north of the country, the historic center of Cap Haitien was flooded. Strong winds knocked down trees. Flooded areas have densely populated and poor communities, so the quality of houses is poor and flooding can completely destroy them. Karangetang volcano erupted in Indonesia. About 70 people were evacuated from the villages adjacent to the volcano. The Karangetang volcano erupted on the Indonesian island of Cebu, sending lava flows into 6 nearby rivers. There is a restricted area in the area of the volcano. Lava flows spread up to a distance of 1.5 kilometers from the crater. An anomalous hailstorm has passed in China, leaving behind a lot of destruction. The central part of the country suffered the most. Approximately 50 houses were seriously damaged and hundreds of houses were left without electricity. Due to ice in Astana, Kazakhstan, there were 180 accidents. The situation was exacerbated by thick fog on the roads. Police have asked drivers to be vigilant and refrain from driving if possible. Pedestrians should also be careful, because a regular walk in such weather can lead to injuries. Residents of Sweden observed a mysterious phenomenon in the sky. It was like a glowing green ribbon. This glow was a bit like the northern lights. But what exactly it was not yet known. The phenomenon occurred during a magnetic storm. "11 pilot whales stranded off the west coast of Sri Lanka were rescued and returned to the sea. Fishermen in the village of Kudava raised the alarm shortly after midnight when they saw a pod of 14 pilot whales washed ashore. Unfortunately, 3 pilot whales could not be saved. Whales are thrown ashore quite often, but the reason for this behavior of animals is still unknown. Some scientists believe that this happens when the leader of the pack makes a mistake in navigation. Brazil's most populous state of São Paulo was hit by landslides and flooding on Sunday, triggered by heavy rains. About 500,000 families were forced to leave their homes. Aviation was used to rescue the inhabitants. The authorities also attracted helicopters to inspect the areas destroyed by the elements. Nearly $3 million aid should be allocated to affected cities for reconstruction. The flood triggered devastating landslides. The sweltering heat that the United States is facing is the result of severe climate change around the world. This has already led to many forest fires and droughts. Scientists recently calculated the damage from wildfires in the United States. Over the past 5 years, firefighting alone has cost the United States nearly $2.5 billion, not counting the cost of dealing with the aftermath. Last year, more than 24,000 fires occurred in the United States, which is the highest figure in the last 10 years. It is clear that the situation will only get worse in the future. Therefore, the United States approved a bill on multi-billion-dollar climate investments. This will help the U.S. reduce greenhouse gas emissions by about 40%. During the UN Climate Change Conference, more than 100 government leaders committed to intensify the fight against global deforestation. The organizers of the summit in Glasgow said that according to the relevant declaration, adopted on Tuesday, November 2nd, deforestation should be stopped by the year 2030 as part of the fight against global warming. The good news was that Brazil, which has been criticized for the rapid deforestation of tropical forests, has also joined this agreement. However, the government of the country broke the promise and only accelerated the pace of deforestation of the Amazon. Another country that is rapidly cutting down forests is the Russian Federation, but the government of this country has not made any promises.